What's up there, guys? This is Dibalen Football Channel, Kaizer Chiefs Football Channel. You know what it is. If you are new to the channel, let us subscribe. Please let us subscribe. We're very close. We're around 90 subscribers. We're going to hit 100. I'm doing a review. Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs, this is Orlando Pirates. Second leg of the MTN 8. Second leg of the MTN 8. And I took time to do this review, to be honest, and people have been texting me and calling me, asking when are you releasing a video, want to hear from you and all that, why are you late? And you know, my response has been and is still the same. I was still trying to gather my strength. The game of Sunday was very bad, to be honest. It was a very bad one. For me, it was very bad. And not because of the results, to be honest. What was even more bad was the performance. I stressed out before the game that the performance is going to be much more important than, you know, the score sheet and how the results come about. And the performance of Sunday, to me, it was very bad. To be honest, it was very bad. I was not impressed. I was not impressed by many things. There's actually very few positives I can pick out from that game. But anyway, as normal, we do 3 negatives and 3 positives, and that's it. But before we do that, before we get into those details, let us check how the coach, you know, went about the lineup compared to the lineup that I said I would prefer. I said I would prefer a more attacking game. I would prefer a coach to field in players that, you know, can attack the spaces and that can drive the ball into the box, into the Orlando Pirates box. To be honest, Orlando Pirates is not one of the best teams. It's not so wow. It's not great. Orlando Pirates is not even great in terms of defense. But it was all about Kaizer Chiefs and its poor performance on Sunday. So let's check the lineup. Akpe was on the goal post. Obviously, Akpe. I also said at least Akpe should go because we don't know what is happening with Kune. And Akpe had a game. I think you saw what happened with Akpe. Akpe. I don't know. As fans, we don't understand why the coaches keep on preferring Akpe over Kun. But one thing we know about Kun is that he doesn't have problems with handling the ball. That's basic. Akpe is like 34. Kun is like 36. The difference is not that much. These guys have been in professional. Akpe is the goalkeeper number 1 for Nigeria. Goalkeeper number 1. He can't handle the ball. He can't handle a ball. Touches the ball. He just does a mix up and we get into a mess. And I said, if you remember very well, that against Orlando Pirates, you cannot afford to make mistakes. Look at the mistake that Akpe committed. And truly we were punished. And as I said, against Orlando Pirates, we are going to be punished. And that is what happened. That is what happened exactly. And then Frosler was playing right back. Center back was Tower, Cardoso, and then Sassman. Right back, Frosler had to be withdrawn because of injury. But in the middle, during the time he was in, we could see what he wants to do. Him, you know, giving us 100 as always. He always gives us 100. Tower didn't have a bad game, to be honest. Yes, towards the end of the game, there was now some energy around Orlando Pirates players trying to take their chances on Tower, but didn't have a bad game. And then until he got, you know, the yellow cards and the red card. And the previous game, in his previous debut, Tower had a red card. And now, secondly, he has a red card again, you know. I think it speaks more about, you know, his emotion in the game. And him wanting to win the derby. I think he's one of the guys who understands why must we win the derby. So I don't really blame him. Yes, I blame him as a professional, but I don't really blame him for getting red cards, you know, game after game. He's always there to fighting for the team. So yes, Tower was there, Cardoso was there. Sassman, I said I prefer Sassman over Zulu, but yeah, it was a mess. We saw the mess there. We saw Dion Hort. He was a Hoto victim. Sassman is a Hoto victim, and I think he's still trying to recover. They must take him to some sort of mental institution or some sort of you know, psychologist, because what was happening there with Dion Hort, it was a mess. But the boy, I trust him. If it was Zulu, it was gonna be worse. If it was Zulu there and on the left back, it was going to be worse. And then in the midfield, the coach tried a more defensive, a more withdrawn strategy. Played Akumu and Blom before Blom had to be changed to right back. On the side, Manyama. The other side, Bernard Park. Again, I said in my lineup in my previous video that these guys need to be benched. Manyama, Parker must be benched because they're not giving us anything. And if we don't bench them, we are sending a wrong message. And if we bring in the young players when the game has been messed up, we're sending a wrong message. We're putting the young players under the bus. We're throwing them under the bus. And we are trying to make them fix the mess that is created by the older guys. And that is not acceptable according to me. Manyama gave us nothing as usual. And he's a captain. I don't know why Manyama keeps on playing. He must be dropped. He must come off the bench. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with coming off the bench. If the coach thinks he's good enough, he must come off the bench. But a message must be sent. Parker is a fossil. As I said, is a fossil. Didn't give us anything. And then Castro and Billiard, there was nothing for them to do in yesterday's game. To be honest, there was nothing for them to do. The game against Orlando Pirates, they couldn't give us anything. And then let us get to the subs. The substitute that were used was Nchangase, Kambole, Ngobo, and Lesako. And we saw when Nchangase entered. And I said Nchangase must start the game. And we saw. I think class is permanent. And this guy has talent. This guy has natural talent. As to why the coaches don't have faith in him, we still wonder. We're still trying to find out right now. But he entered into the game. He didn't disappoint. He didn't lower the game. And as an individual, didn't have a bad game. And then Kambole, misses as always, but gets into those good positions. That's one thing positive about him. He gets into the good positions, but doesn't do anything about it. And that's a very unfortunate one. Ngobo played, came in, didn't drop. Lesako, he's been used in the last minutes. I don't know why they keep on using him when there's 80 something, 88, 89. I don't know what is he expected to do. If it is the coach's plan to introduce him into the game, bit by bit, then that's okay. But if it's just gonna do that week in and week out, it's just gonna deal with his confidence. So I think it's going forward, these boys are going to have to be thrown there in the deep to be the ones starting the game. Let's have our 3 negatives and 3 positives. Before I did this video, I thought, do we have positives? Do we really have positives out of that game? And I was wondering, because first I said there's no positive in that game, like we should just try and forget about that game. But as I cooled down and tried to analyze and check the game, I as a fan, I could find some positives. Let's get to the negatives. 3 negatives. The first negative is the coach's tactics. The coach, his tactics were bad. They're the same tactics as the previous game and the game we played against the TX Galaxy. He gets the tactics very wrong. To be honest, the coach got the tactics very wrong in this game. He went defensive. Until Frosler, got an injury. Why defensive? I do not understand. As I said, that I don't think we should be very defensive. And he tried to change the formation. When Frosler got injured, the coach immediately tried and went for an offense, because he could have played in a right back. What he did, said he's gonna sacrifice Blom from the center, put him in the right back, and then put Nchangase to attack. See, just few minutes into the game. So that's what I asked myself. What were the coaches' plan in the first place before Frosler got injured? So when Frosler gets injured, you want to quickly change the tactics. You want to go into attack, and it doesn't look like he was prepared enough for that game. It doesn't look like he knew what he was doing in that game. If he decided, if it was his decision to say, let us defend and let us get a 0-0 and we leave this game with dignity, I would have understood that. Would have played another right back. We stick with our defense. When he changes the tactics early in the game to try and attack and look where it got us, I don't understand. The coach got it wrong. The second negative, the team leadership, the leadership question in the team. I have a huge problem. In the previous game against TS Galaxy, we changed captains 3 times. Yeah, 3 times or 2 times. Yeah, the armband changed to 3 players. Against Orlando Pirates, it was 3 or 4 players in one game. I think that's a record 4 players changing armband in one game, it's a record, and it says a lot about our team. Says a lot about our team. Who is the leader in the team? Who's actually, a leader in the team? And a leader has to lead not only, by commanding and all that. You must lead also in the game with your performance. And if Manyama is a leader of the team with his performance, really. And when Manyama gets out his Parker, very bad performance, and he must be removed again. And then another person goes out, another person is given the armband, bad performance, he must be removed again. Then who's the leader of the team? And who's leading these young boys? To be honest, who's the leader of the team? It's a huge question. It's a huge question of leadership in terms of performance and in terms of what is happening in the pitch. If you change captains 3-4 times in one game, really, it's a huge question to me. In football, I've never seen that happening. The third negative is Akpe as an individual. Akpe as an individual he was very bad in this game. Committed that mistake, and I was wondering, because the first game against Orlando Pirates, where he was running away from Lodge, I thought, okay, it's issues of mistakes and all that. And then now, ball comes into his hands, he can't handle it, and from then we lost the game. From then, yes, I understand the whole team was bad, was not good, but Akpe as an individual, I don't see why he's starting over Kune. We don't know what the coaches know or see behind closed doors, but Kune must start. Kune must start. We cannot stress it further. Kune is old, but if you're 36, keepers, they retired 40. 37, 36, 37, 38, 39, keepers retired 40. Buffon has been there. It's been there. Emmanuel Noy, I'm sure, is like towards 36, 37. So keepers, in fact, keepers have their best game around that time, around 35 going up. So Kune has to play over Akpe. I don't know why Akpe is playing. And then 3 positives. Our 3 positives. The first positive is the FIFA break. That's the first positive for us. We needed this break, and it came at a very good time. Now the coach has been complaining about preparations and all that. FIFA break is here. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's gonna come back around the 21st of November, towards the end of November. So we expect every player to be back. We expect the coach to have gotten his thing all right. We expect the coach to know by then. You must know what he's going to do, because after that when we come back, we're playing Arrows, we're playing Swallows, we're playing Leopards. Those games must win, and we must have been prepared for those games. And good that players, Frosler is back. He's okay because of injury, but he's back. And I don't think Manyama will be used. I don't think Kune will be used. So our players should use this time to recover. And then the second positive is Nchangase's performance. We need Nchangasse in our team. He's proving he never enters and doesn't know what he does. Doesn't know what to do with the ball. He knows what to do with the ball. He's to me, is supposed to be definitely starting in that team. In that team of Parker, in that team of Manyama, of Akumu, Nchangasse is supposed to be starting. I'm sure Nchangasse is standing when he's on the bench, is asking himself, what is it that he can't do that these guys are doing? What is it that Nchangasse can't do that Parker is doing? What is it that Nchangasse can't do that Manyama is doing in our game? To be honest, it's far better. He proved himself in this game. This game against Orlando Pirates, even hit the post. It was just unlucky. Could have been a goal. And after that, we considered. But all in all, he had a very good game. It was not bad for him. For a guy who's not been playing, who's, coaches are not showing confidence in him. He arrives, he gives us 100. He gave us 100. Nchangasse, he gave us 100. The positive number 3 is that on that game when we were playing Orlando Pirates, the sky was blue. The weather was very nice. We had a very great weather outside, after having the heavy rains and all that. That's a positive I could pick up from Sunday. It was a very good Sunday. And later on, I went to enjoy with my friends in some place. Had some nice time just to rewind That is another positive I can take from what was happening. Other than that, there's no other positives, to be honest. There's nothing else to get out of that game, except that we need to use this FIFA break to move forward. We need to use this FIFA break to our advantage. Otherwise, we have a long way to go. The coach has a long way to go. We support the coach. We still say we support the coach. That we have no doubt on him. And the fact that we know it's not his fault. We know it's not his fault. Yes, he might get tactics wrong, but we know that the team is where it is right now. It has been there for a very long time. The things that are happening now, they've been there for a very long time. So we're giving him time and support, but he has to come get his thing together. He must get his thing together. Otherwise, if you enjoyed, let us share, let us like, let us comment. From me, that's it from me. Thank you very much. Please enjoy your FIFA break. Support your teams. I'm not supporting any national team. I'm not supporting South Africa Bafana. I'm not supporting Bafana. I can't break my heart further. My heart has been broken by Kaizer Chiefs. Going for Bafana will just be an abuse for me. So myself, I'll be watching other national teams that I think are playing nice football. Otherwise, all the best. Enjoy your FIFA break. From me, peace.